Galnet News, your galaxy in focus. 26th of March, 3301. In today's news, Hartsfield market falls into the hands of the Crimson State Group. Federation pulls Navy from Lugh after congressional meeting. East India Company's Operation Arm Chop continues. Demand for original Pan Am Onionhead is higher than ever. And finally, the horrid events in Lugh have caused some pilots to defect. In today's top stories, the fight for Lugh stays in the spotlight. In what can only be described as a devastating blow for the Federation, the Crimson State Group and the Sons of Khan have managed to wrestle control of Hartsfield Market from the Lugh for Equality Party. The fighting in the halls of Hartsfield was particularly bloody, with tens of thousands having been killed on both sides of the conflict. Federal forces managed to hold the bridge for almost 78 hours after the rest of the station fell, but the Sons of Khan were eventually able to break through the Federation's defenses to claim their prize. Reports coming in from Hartsfield Market suggest that the Crimson State Group is currently in the process of accessing the station's command protocols. They are expected to be in full control of the station shortly. Hartsfield Market is home to the master controls of Lugh Military Defense Network, ownership which will allow the Crimson State Group to exert their influence across the entire system. Following the federal loss of Hartsfield Market, the Federation had a long congressional meeting discussing President Halsey's heavy-handed responses to events in the past few months, saying that she has mishandled the Federation's interest. Shadow President Hudson went so far as to remark, "The Federal Navy handed you a victory in Lugh on a silver platter. And how do you thank them? You murder thousands of your own people. The incompetence has to stop, and it has to stop now." Following the meeting, Congress has decided to temporarily pull the Federal Navy from active duty in Lugh. Navy vessels are currently in the process of being diverted to Qureshi Enterprise in Kaka, where they will remain until such time as Congress decides on how to best end the current conflict. Despite the official withdrawal of the Federal Navy, Lugh continues to find itself embroiled in an ongoing civil war between the Crimson State Group and the Lugh for Equality Party, the outcome of which is still far from certain. So far, on the federal side, Lugh for Equality has managed to gain control over the skies of Lugh. On the other side of the war, the native Crimson State Group has managed to take a significant advantage in terms of acquiring armaments for their ground troops. The federal forces need more guns, while the CSG needs more dedicated combat pilots. With millions of residents having already lost their lives in the fight for an independent Lugh, it seems that neither group will give up the fight without a decisive outcome. In other news, the East India Company has sent in a press release regarding the successor of Operation Arm Chop. Operation Lamb Chop, also known as Arm Chop 2 Electric Boogaloo by some, is seeing 4 East India Company pilots hailing from Space Australia taking to BD plus 032338, the historic location of the original Arm Chop blockade. They have vowed to ensure that the FNS Nevermore, should it be deployed to Lugh, does so completely hamstrung. Commanders Liquid Catnip, Xavier Man, Deceasus, and TC have declared open season on all trading ships in the area and will continue to do so until the repair effort has ceased. A word from the trading front: thousands of traders have started flocking back to Kappa Pharnacis following the announcement that Onionhead is once again available for sale aboard Harvestport. Demand for the original strain of Onionhead has remained high over the last few months, despite, or perhaps due to, the Federation's attempt to completely wipe the plant from the face of the galaxy. Street prices for the totally organic narcotic had skyrocketed by several 100%, although the price is expected to level out again now that a new supply has become readily available. For now, the Onionhead trade on Kappa Pharnacis is being allowed to continue unabated, but once the war in Lugh is over, the Federation is sure to turn its attention back to the farmers of Panem. And finally, Commander Martlud, a federal pilot, has posted a heartfelt transmission in regards to his experience of the Lugh Civil War. He transmitted the following personal log to his social media domain. "Today when I got up out of my sleeping pod, I did my usual thing and read up on Galnet. What I read struck me with a deep feeling of shame and anger. The same Federation me and my loyal pilots have been risking our lives for in the hellhole some call the conflict zones has ordered an attack on a civilian convoy. As these orders came straight from the top, it struck me deep in my heart, and the President could see this as an informal resignation. I would like to apologize to the people of Lugh, the Crimson State Group, the Cosmic State Group, and also the Imperial pilots that fell under federal fire. May we take a moment of silence for the over 9,000 civilians that lost their lives, all because of the intel that wasn't even correct. Also, a moment of silence for all the brave pilots who fell and who are still risking their lives out there to fight for their beliefs. I hope that the other federal commanders will see that they should leave the Federation or demand huge changes, maybe even by force, because this can no longer be tolerated. This is my goodbye to the Federation. I hope the Empire will still accept me, regardless of what I've done to them. That's the Galnet news for today. This has been Chip Washington. Tune in next time to keep your galaxy in focus.